Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into history, ancient texts, all sorts of sources, really, to find those key nuggets of knowledge for you.
That's the idea.
And today, wow, we are going way back, thousands of years. We're looking at this really specific but fascinating old story. It's about Abraham buying a burial plot for his wife, Sarah.
Yeah, it starts with this really deep personal loss.
Exactly. But it turns into, well, you can almost call it a masterclass in ancient deal-making.
Huh.
Culture, law, how you actually prove you own something back then.
It sounds like just, a simple real estate deal from way back when, but it's packed with detail.
It really is.
And this deep dive, we hope it gives you a shortcut to kind of grasping the social scene, the legal stuff in Canaan, millennia ago. It's surprisingly revealing.
So that's our mission today. Pull out the key takeaways. Not just what happened, but the how and the why behind it all, and maybe why these old ways, these customs, still feel relevant.
Yeah, there are definitely echoes.
You get a real feel for, ancient business and culture, all wrapped up in this very human story.
Okay, so let's dive in. It starts, as you said, with this really stark moment, personal tragedy. The text tells us Sarah lived to be 127, and she dies in Kiriath Arba, that's Hebron, in Canaan.
A long life, even noted specifically.
Yeah, and Abraham. The text says he went to mourn for Sarah and to weep over her. It hits hard, that opening, just pure grief. But beyond that personal pain, what does her death immediately trigger in this story?
Well, that loss, it's the absolute catalyst. It's not just, a sad fact. It forces Abraham's hand.
That's so.
He's been living there as a sojourner, right? Not a native landowner. Her death means he needs a permanent place to bury her. It pushes him into this really crucial interaction with the locals.
Okay.
His personal tragedy forces a public, legal, and, well, ultimately historic necessity. It kicks off this whole process of acquiring property. Got it. So Abraham gets up from mourning, and he goes to the local people, the Hittites. And he starts with this very deliberate statement. I am a foreigner and stranger among you.
Humility.
Then he asks straight up, sell me some property for a burial site here so I can bury my dead. That description, foreigner and stranger, feels loaded. Is that just him being polite, or is there more to it?
Oh, there's definitely more to it. It's absolutely a strategic opening.
Strategic.
Yeah. By saying that, he's immediately signaling, look, I know I don't have any automatic right to own land here. He's not making demands, he's making an appeal.
Okay.
It sets up the dynamic. He's acknowledging, his vulnerable position and that he needs them to cooperate. It shows respect for their ownership, and it frames it as a legitimate request for a transaction, not some kind of claim based on, well, anything else. He's asking for a right, he's not asserting one.
And their response.
Yeah.
It's instant. And frankly, surprisingly generous. They call him sir, first off.
Yeah, respect right away.
Then they say, you are a mighty prince among us. And they don't just say yes. They offer him the absolute best spots they have. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will refuse you his tomb. That's quite something for a guy who just called himself a foreigner.
It really is, and it tells us a couple of things.
Like what?
Well, first, even though Abraham used that humble description, they clearly saw him differently. Mighty prince. That shows he had status, a reputation. He wasn't just some random wanderer.
So his reputation preceded him.
Seems like it. And second, it shows us ancient customs. Hospitality, respect, especially for someone important. Offering the best tombs is a public thing, right? It makes them look good, honorable in front of everyone.
The public display aspect.
Exactly. So Abraham wasn't just some outsider. He had social clout, which gave him an immediate advantage.
Okay, but then Abraham does something interesting. He bows again, showing respect, but he doesn't just take them up on the free tomb offer.
No, he pivots.
Yeah, he gets really specific. He asks them to talk to Ephron, son of Zohar, about selling him the cave of Machpelah at the end of his field. And here's the kicker. He insists on paying the full price as a burial site among you.
Full price.
So why? Why turn down free prime real estate and insist on buying this specific cave and paying top dollar or top shekel? What's going on there?
This is where you really see Abraham's foresight, his legal thinking, accepting a free tomb. Sounds great, but it might imply it's just temporary use, or maybe it comes with strings attached. It wouldn't necessarily give him permanent, undeniable ownership of the land itself.
Right, it's just the use of the tomb.
Exactly. By targeting a specific cave and insisting on paying full price, Abraham's thinking bigger than just a burial. He's securing clear, undisputed ownership. For good.
Ah.
Paying that price makes it legally solid. No arguments later. It establishes a permanent claim, not just temporary permission. It's actually a really savvy move for the long term, securing a legal precedent.
And Ephron's reaction to this specific request, it almost feels like theater. The text makes a point of saying, Ephron the Hittite was sitting among his people, and he replied, in the hearing of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of his city. Very public.
Extremely public. The location is key.
And Ephron says, no, my lord, I give you the field, and I give you the cave. I give it to you in the presence of my people. Bury your dead.
He doubles down on the generosity.
He does. He even offers the whole field, not just the cave Abraham asked for.
So is this just Ephron being incredibly generous, or is this part of the negotiation dance happening out in the open?
I think it's definitely part of the dance. That setting, the gate of his city, that wasn't just a random spot.
No.
No, in those times, the city gate was the hub. It was the courthouse, the marketplace, the public square, all rolled into one. All major deals, legal stuff happened there in public view.
Everyone sees it, everyone hears it. Precisely. And Ephron's repeated offer to give the land, it's partly a display of his own status, his magnanimity makes him look good, but it's also probably a classic negotiation tactic.
How so?
By seeming so generous, maybe he's subtly trying to coax a higher offer out of Abraham, or at least make the eventual price seem more justified because he offered it for free first. It's a social performance as much as a business deal. Ancient transactions were often very public, very ritualized.
But Abraham doesn't bite on the gift offer. He is absolutely determined. He bows again to the people, then says straight to Ephron, listen to me. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it from me. He makes it crystal clear. No gift.
He's resolute. He knows what he needs.
What was the actual danger if he had just said, okay, thanks for the gift, Ephron? What could have gone wrong?
Well, the biggest risk was ambiguity and impermanence. If he accepted it as a gift, the ownership could have been seen as conditional. Maybe Ephron or his kids could later say, well, we just lent it to him, or circumstances have changed. It might have been just a grant of use, not full title.
Ah, so it leaves wiggle room later on.
Exactly. By insisting firmly on paying the price of the field, Abraham nails it down. It becomes an undeniable, permanent claim. It wasn't about being cheap. It was about making sure the title was secure, legally watertight.
And doing it publicly seals the deal.
Absolutely. This public payment, witnessed by everyone at the gate. That solidifies his ownership in a way a private gift never, ever could. It really shows how crucial clear payment and public witness were in ancient law.
Okay, so they finally get down to brass tacks. The price, Ephron names it. 400 shekels of silver.
Which was a lot of money back then, a significant sum.
But then Ephron adds this little flourish, right? He says, but what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Almost dismissing the large sum.
Yeah, that's another classic negotiation bit. Softens the blow of the high price, maybe. Keeps up his image of being generous, even while naming a steep figure.
And Abraham, he doesn't haggle, he just agrees. And the text is very specific.
Yeah.
He weighed out for him the price in the hearing of the Hittites. 400 shekels of silver, according to the weight current among the merchants. Why all that detail about weighing the silver?
That meticulous detail is fascinating and crucial. Remember, this is likely before standardized coins were common. Weight was the measure.
Right, like silver bars or pieces.
Exactly. So weighing it out ensured accuracy and fairness. No one could claim they were shortchanged. And doing it according to the weight current among the merchants means using the accepted standard. It adds another layer of legitimacy.
And all in the hearing of the Hittites.
Yes. The public weighing acts like a notarized signature today. It transforms the exchange into a formal, verifiable, legally binding event. It creates a public record, the transparency and that public affirmation, just as vital back then as official documents are now.
So the deal is done. And the description of what Abraham bought is incredibly thorough. It says, Ephron's field in Machpelah, near Mamre, both the field and the cave in it, and all the trees within the borders of the field, was deeded to Abraham as his property. They even mention the trees.
They do. It wasn't just the cave or even just the field surface.
Why include all the trees? What does that level of detail signify?
It signifies completeness, total ownership. By specifying the field, the cave, and all the trees within the boundaries, it leaves absolutely no room for doubt about what belongs to Abraham.
No loopholes.
Exactly. It covers every part of the property's value, the land, the structure on it, the cave, and its resources, the trees. And again, the fact it was publicly deeded in the presence of all the Hittites at the gate makes the title absolutely secure. It's like a perfect ancient example of how to formalize property transfer to ensure it's total and undeniable.
And so, with the land bought, paid for, witnessed, and legally secured, the story circles back to its beginning. Afterward, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave in the field of Machpelah.
The purpose is fulfilled.
The initial need, born from grief, is finally met.
And if you zoom out, connect that burial to the bigger narrative. It's huge for Abraham.
How so?
Well, think about it. This isn't just where Sarah is buried. It's the very first piece of land in Canaan, the promised land that Abraham actually owns. Legally. Indisputably.
The first foothold.
Exactly. This purchase, triggered by sorrow, establishes a tangible, permanent presence for him and his descendants. It lays down a foundational claim, anchored in law and witnessed by the community, that will echo through generations. It's really a testament to how sometimes personal tragedy can lead to actions with incredibly long-lasting significance. A masterclass in turning need into legacy, using the tools of the time.
Wow. What a deep dive that was. It starts with such intense personal loss, Abraham's grief over Sarah, and this basic need for a grave.
Yeah, a very human starting point.
But it just unfolds into this incredibly complex, really fascinating negotiation. It's like a window opens onto ancient law, social rules, how deals were done, shows Abraham's wisdom, his patience, too.
And the sheer meticulousness of it all. How careful they were to make sure the property transfer was solid, public, undeniable, built to last.
Definitely. You really get a feel for the importance they placed on doing it right, out in the open.
And this story, it tells us about more than just how people bought land thousands of years ago. It really touches on these enduring human things, doesn't it?
Like what?
Well, the deep need we have to provide a proper resting place for loved ones, the challenges of being, an outsider in a foreign place, and the sheer power of establishing clear, legitimate ownership. How doing things transparently, publicly, makes a claim solid even when someone offers you a shortcut, like a gift.
That contrast between the gift offer and the insistence on payment is really striking.
It is, and it makes you think, doesn't it? About how even today we rely on formal agreements, witnesses, public records for really important transactions. So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. What does this ancient deal tell us about the timeless value of clarity, transparency, and, public affirmation in any significant agreement? Whether it's across cultures, across millennia, does that need for legitimacy ever really change?
That's a really powerful question to end on, something to definitely mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope thinking about these ancient practices gives you a fresh perspective on human interaction, property, and maybe even deal-making today.